I've been drinking.
Bonjour, my name is Will Solomon. I'm 35 years old. I play for the Antibes Sharks, and I'm happy to be here. I started basketball when I was 12, 13 years old. You know, I played football also, American football. And you know, I had to choose between each sport, and I also chose basketball, but I love American football. But basketball, you know, it's in the gym, it's warm, and you know, I just love the game. You know, from the first time I touched the basketball, I loved the game, and you know, I just grew more and more, you know, attracted to the game, and I kept playing. So it was about 12, 13 years old. I played at my college. I played at Clemson University. I played there for 3 years, and I left my third year to enter the NBA draft. I entered the NBA draft in 2001, 2002, and I got drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. I played there. I played in the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA, and then you know, I was playing, you know, up and down. Not too many minutes, maybe 15, 17 minutes a game, and you know, I got presented, you know, with a job in Europe, and I came to Europe, and you know, I fell in love in Europe. So I played in Greece my first year, Saloniki. It was a successful season, and then the next year I went to Israel, Hapoel Jerusalem, and it was successful there also. And I just grew in love with Europe. So, and then then I went to Turkey. I played for êTES Pilsen. Then I went back to Israel. I played for Maccabi Tel Aviv. And then I went back to Turkey. I played for Fenerbahce for 2.5 years. And then I chose to go back to the NBA, you know, because NBA is somebody's dream. So I played for the Toronto Raptors for, you know, half a season, and then I played for the Sacramento Kings for maybe 20 games, and then I came back to Europe, and then I went back to Fenerbahce. So, and basketball goes on, and it leads me to Antibes. My play style, I think, you know, coming out of college, my play style is I'm a point guard, but you know, now in this day and age, you know, point guards score. They score many points, like Tony Parker, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul. You know, most of the point guards in the NBA and, you know, also Europe, they score. You know, and I guess that was good for me, because before, when I was coming out of college, I played point guard, but I can score. So, you know, it fits in the game now. And so I'll say I'm an aggressive point guard, but I can score. First of all, you know, basketball represents, you know, it's just like a family. You know, you have to have love for basketball to play this game. You know, to travel to Europe, you know, far away from your loved ones. So, you know, I consider basketball as part of my family, and something that I love to do. You know, Antibes, I never played in France, period. Not just Antibes, I never played in France, and I always wanted to experience, you know, a different league, a different competition, a different championship, because, you know, throughout my career, I just played in Israel and Turkey. And so I wanted to experience something different. And I had the opportunity to sign with a couple other teams here in France, but, you know, I hear a lot about the south of France, and it's a nice place, and I think Antibes was a perfect fit, you know, because the management and the team, you know, they needed help at the time, and so I chose to come here, and actually I'm enjoying myself. I like it, and I like the team, I like the management, I like the gym, I like the fans, so, you know, I'm having a good time. Most definitely, you know, I think we could stay in Pro A. You know, we have to just keep on fighting, keep on playing, you know, and we have to come together as a team. You know, we have different changes, you know, people left, people came. So, you know, we have to get together as a team and, you know, basically just stay focused and play our style of basketball, you know, and focus on winning, focus on trying to stay in Pro A. That's one of our goals. So, you know, we have to come out 110% because we don't have as much chemistry as the other teams, you know, because some teams, they play together for 1 year or they play together for 6-7 months. You know, some of us play together for 2 weeks. So, you know, we have to learn each other and, you know, just stay together and play as a team. And, you know, I think everything will fall into place because we have quality players, you know, within the team. And we have good players, so I think we could stay in Pro A for sure. And actually, the city, I fell in love with the city. You know, I like Antibes. You know, it's a really quiet but nice city. You know, I could say quiet but nice. You could really relax and you can really focus on your job as far as playing basketball. So, you know, and also you have a great view, and it's easy to go from any place in Europe and also any place in France. So I think Antibes is a great place. I think I'll finish the season here. You know, hopefully, you know, we'll see, you know, what the management think and what my decision will be. But, you know, I think I'll finish the season here in Antibes. I think Pro A, you know, it grown from the competition. It's a strong league in Europe now, you know, I think so, because you can have, you know, 5 Americans or five import players. And, you know, so I think the talent in the French Pro A League is really tough, and especially, you know, it's good local players. The French players is good players, you know, so I think this is a good competition, good championship. You know, as I'm playing in it, you know, it's one of the strongest championships I played in. You know, those are, you know, something special. You know, I would never thought, you know, coming to Europe, I would win a championship, so many championships, so many titles with different teams, you know. So, you know, it was just, you know, something special for me, my family, you know, my friends, you know, the fans, you know, those memories that you'll never forget. And it was just special moments, you know. I had a lot of special moments with every team, you know, with Hapoel Jerusalem, you know, with Aris Saloniki, with Maccabi Tel Aviv, you know, with Fenerbahce, you know, all the teams I played for in Europe. You know, I had a, you know, tremendous time. So, you know, I like to thank those teams, you know, for having me, and we had success. It's like the French league. It's a lot of athletes, you know. It's a lot of athletes, and it's a lot of running, fast court, you know, fast-paced game, and you know, really, it's a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail in the NBA, and you have to focus on the detail because you play 82 games and you're not practicing so much. So, opposed to EuroLeague, you know, you practicing, you competing, you know, you learning your team, you know, from day one, and it's different coaching, you know. And EuroLeague, you know, it's more of a spacing game. It's more of a spacing game, and you pick and roll, and you know, you read the defense, and you have to learn, you know, how to, you know, learn how to get your shot, you know, your angles, and it's just a lot more detail, you know, in the EuroLeague. You know, it's a lot more precise, and it's a lot more, you know, it's a lot more, you know, trying to get spacing and less physical. To be honest, you know, I like, you know, a lot of players. I didn't have just one, main player that I liked. I liked Michael Jordan, I liked Isaiah Thomas, I liked Dennis Rodman, Tim Duncan. I liked a lot of players, and I wanted to compete against all those players. I'm like, oh, I want to play against them, because I like to compete. I think any basketball player like to compete. So I just like the NBA, and that was my dream, to get there and be at the same level as those guys. Exciting, you come to, big, amazing arenas, 15, 20,000 people, and everybody wants your autograph, and you in the NBA, you're famous. You're a famous guy, everybody, and wherever city you go to, you're famous, and it was just a dream. Tony Parker and Gilbert Arenas, those two great players, that played in the NBA and had successful careers in the NBA, and Tony Parker, he's still playing in the NBA, and maybe he have a chance to win another championship. But to be mentioned in the same category with Gilbert Arenas, Tony Parker, and the other guys who was drafted in our same draft, it's just an honor. No, I don't regret anything. It was my decision to leave the NBA. I chose to leave the NBA. To come back to Europe. I think my game and my style of play is more suitable for Europe. Instead of the NBA, because my career was, I just had a good career here. So I chose to stay in Europe opposed to NBA. The games have changed. You have bigger, faster, stronger. Now you have 2'7" playing small forward. You have 2'4" playing point guard. 2 meters playing point guard. So this guys got bigger, stronger, and faster. And more athletic. Myself, I see Miami doing it again. LeBron James. Oui, au revoir, merci beaucoup, bonjour. I like Beyonce's new song. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z new song. I like that.